Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show, presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale, and Scotty Gurman. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. How you doing, Phil?
Perfect. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Absolutely.
Josh is off at a wedding this weekend, so flying double duty here with me, Scotty. So it's going to be fun.
All
Exciting times. I had to raise my seat up a little bit. The call-in number was right around my chin. I didn't like it. Hey, so it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. That number comes right to the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get passed into the podcast. We'll get you on here with your question. And again, this show is about anything ailing your car: tires, brakes, batteries, anything you don't understand, noises, check engine lights, whatever it might be. Anything you want to discuss in the automobile world, love to hear from you. 316-462-3673, number there at the bottom of the screen. And we'll get your questions. And Scotty, me and Josh have been talking about this, and we get so busy we forget about doing it.
Yeah.
We say this package we give away is valued at over $130, but I think we have not recalculated that number.
You guys are
for several years. We're still saying it correct. It's over 130.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And I know you know what's in that package. I'm sure you take care of a lot of customers on the service drive every day that win one of these packages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And stuff too. So what's in that package as we give out for each and every caller?
First things first, we could obviously do an oil change. That's the first thing. Second thing, we have the multi-point inspection, which is probably the most valuable thing out of all of that.
Got to agree with you on that one too,
Yep.
Scotty.
We've got MOA, or is it the MOA and CF5 still, or they moved to 44K?
I believe it's 44K.
Yeah.
And
it's the BG package for radio winners, and it's invaluable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I said nitrogen for your tires.
It's 44K and MOA.
44K.
It used
and
to be
MOA.
CF5, and that's
right.
kind of changed.
That's right. And then we have $10 to the diner as well.
You know, and Brandon cooks up a fabulous breakfast over there, lunch over there. So you got $10 you can spend in there today.
Yep.
He come flying over there with some egg sandwiches for the salespeople this morning, and they were all snarfing them up.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to check out Mel's Diner. Brandon Neely over there is a great guy. He does a great job keeping us healthy, keep us full of food, but he also has those energy drinks over there too. Scotty's got one stashed right up here too.
Already
to go. Got to stay fired up, right?
That's right.
Okay, and then there's one last thing. What's the last thing?
Oh, shoot. Did I miss one?
I think you did. Owner's Advantage Ford Pass points.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did miss that.
$10 for Ford Pass points too. So, hey, it's a great package, and just anything ailing your car, you want to talk about anything in the automobile world, get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673, and we'll get you fixed up. So anyway, morning, Delbert Alt's on live, coming out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Or is it Oklahoma City? I can't remember which one it is now, but he's out of Oklahoma somewhere. How about that, Delbert?
There you go.
I believe it's Oklahoma City. I said Tulsa because that's where we met him up that time we went to the Tulsa shoot, to the Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
So anyway, Scotty, probably something happened this week that's probably been in many years since it's happened. And Ford announced employee pricing.
Yeah.
And
that's huge, man.
It's and I looked at the numbers and saw what it's doing. And I mean, it's a great number.
Yeah.
This is a Ford employee pricing. Now we also have what we call X-Plan pricing, which is a partners pricing for when they partner with different manufacturers and different vendors and things like that. They give them a discount for that. This is A-Plan pricing, which is below that number even too. So this is very huge. It's on all the 24s, and it's almost on all the 25s. There's a little confusion out there because some of the Ford reps have put out there about on all their products. Well, it really technically is on all their products, but it's not on the 25 Expeditions. It's not on the 25 Super Duties. And, of course, it's not on Raptors,
right? Bronco
Raptors and Ranger Raptors. It doesn't apply to those units because those are hot units and stuff like that,
right.
too. So it's a huge time.
That's huge, man.
We had a great day. We've had a great day every day this week coming from the news side, and that's just it. It's just creating a lot of excitement. And I'm just telling you, I did a spot for it, and I said, do not let this pass you by because I've seen Ford years ago. They'll put something out there, and then they'll pull it too early. So don't let it miss out. But anyway, jump on our website. We've got the largest selection of Fords in the state. No one's got more inventory than we have, so we know we can find something that fits your needs. But don't let this A-Plan pricing pass you by.
Yeah.
And from that part, Scotty, I'm telling you, you need to look at it.
I've already told my wife we're already looking.
Yeah, you got to look at it. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
And if so, Jeff Daniel, good morning. And yes, Delbert, I know I screwed that up. It's Oklahoma City.
OKC.
So anyway, let's get the phones ringing. Love to hear from you. 316-462-3673. And if you want to talk about that A-Plan pricing, love to hear from you too. Questions you might have or whatever. But we pumped out a lot of new cars just yesterday on that A-Plan pricing. Now, what I will tell you, the website is not updated yet because Ford held this so tight and announced it. It's taken our web page providers several days now to get the pricing flipped. I've got mine application in you had to fill out to do that. I got it in there. I sent them several examples to make sure the mapping's right and stuff. So hopefully by Monday we'll have the A plan price in on our website. But if you got any questions, it's very easy for us to call in and we can get you the price that you know you're going to pay. But just get ready. It's a great price and you just don't want to miss. Again, all 24s and almost every 25 except the 25 Expedition and 25 Super Duty, and no Raptors, no Bronco Raptors, and no Ranger Raptors on that part too. So okay, Scotty, it's been a busy week back here in the shop. Every time I go back, you guys are just going crazy.
We're flying, man.
And you know, we talk about that multi-point inspection.
Yeah.
And you said it first too. It's there's no value you can put on that multi-point inspection.
Right.
Scotty, I remember back in the day when we first started doing these, customers didn't want it done.
Yeah.
Don't touch my car. Just want an oil change. That's all I need. Don't mess with my car.
We still hear that today.
Yeah. And here's my thing. Are we going to try to sell you something? Yes, we are. We're trying to sell you something to take care of your car, not sell you something that you don't need. It's just like going to the doctor. If you're going in for a health checkup with the doctor, are you going to let him just check your blood pressure? No. You want him to do the full examination of you and check you out and everything else like it's supposed to be done. That's the same thing we're doing with your car. And Scott, I remember back in the day working with my dad, I was 8 to 10 years old, and we were in there, and that same thing you talked about, having to get the car in the rack every 3,000 miles. Let us look it over, see what you got going on. He was doing a multi-point inspection. He just didn't have the paperwork out.
Right.
From that part and pointing out different things. But are we here to sell you something on your car? Exactly right. But we need to sit down, and Scotty can do this with you. I drive one way, Scotty drives another way. Well, guess what? We both need two different maintenance plans for our cars. And the other thing I've come up with, Scotty, is what's in the owner's manual.
Mm-hmm.
That's the minimum.
That's the bare minimum of what they want you to do in order to maintain your car, so it gets past that warranty area.
That's all that's all they care about. That's all they care about, and then it's your baby, and they don't care. So just remember that. So as you come in service drive, just ask for Scotty and let him sit down with you and develop a plan.
Yeah.
How it will benefit you to protect your car. Okay, these cars are still depreciating assets. I get it. But you need to protect that depreciating asset so it doesn't go away. Mm-hmm. And Scotty, you know, Josh and I talk a lot about on the show how we see things in the shop. I walk through that shop every day and I see something that's happened to a unit that shouldn't have happened if they would have preventative maintenance or done something and saved them thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And where I see it more than anything is these big heavy duty trucks.
Oh yeah.
The 3/4 and 1 ton trucks that come in here that, you know, I get it. They're running and gunning and doing everything they can. But then you think about the downtime and the headache time and the inconvenience time and all that other stuff.
But the one that I probably see the most, or that maybe I've been noticing more over the last week, is just like tires. Tires are one of the most expensive thing that on a vehicle that you're going to have to replace. It doesn't matter what the vehicle, you're going to eventually have to replace your tires.
Yeah.
And so many times you see different wear patterns on a tire, whether it's underinflation, overinflation, a steering part that obviously is loose or causing damage to a tire. Like premature wear of tires is what I see probably more than anything. And it's crazy.
You know, I agree with that too, Scotty. It's you know, out here when we trading for customers' cars and stuff and walking out there my sales manager look at the tire and just look at the depth of the tread.
Oh yeah.
I said, that's not what you're looking at. It's not the depth of the tread. You need to look at the whole circumference of that tire. And I said, the next thing is just look at when you've got a dark mark on a tire and a light mark. I mean, that's a high and a low spot on that tire. So that's telling you something there already. And when you're driving down the road, you know, that tire's
exactly. It's noisier than hell.
But you got to look at the whole tire.
Yeah.
And you are right, Scotty. These tires years ago were, $70, $80 a tire.
Right.
Now it's kind of like it's $1,000 anymore for a set of tires.
Pretty much right around there.
But again, they run longer if you do what?
If you just take care of them, maintain the vehicle, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah. If you, it took me a long time, Scotty, to get over the 3-month, 3,000 mile interval.
Oh yeah.
Really hard. God, it was hard.
Yeah.
But then I realized too, back in the 3,000 mile days, the rating on the oils were a CC rating.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're all the way to SJ. So every time that letter changes, that's how much better these oils are getting.
Yeah.
These cars run so much better. They run so much tighter clearances and stuff. But, so I overcome that. But also what that did for me is really, if you think about it, it's really better because we were rotating tires every 6,000 miles.
Yeah.
Now we're rotating them every 5. And I think that really helps. But really, it's probably the biggest crucial problem that we have. And Gus, I think we just lost we're still there. Okay. A link come up said we lost signal.
Leonard Vasquez says, "Good morning." Good morning,
Leonard. Okay, I guess we're back on. I thought it I lost it for a minute. Anyway, yeah, scary, right? The rotating them every 5,000 miles. But the biggest thing that I see more than anything is just air pressure.
Oh yeah, big time.
And those tire pressure monitoring lights came on, and the customers would pull in and say, "Hey, I need to get this turned off." I said, "I agree, got to get it turned off, but let's figure out which tire is low." Right. Oh no, it just needs turned off. And no, that's not what it is. So now today, though, most cars have tire pressures where you can monitor around the dash.
Oh yeah,
and love that.
Yeah, love it too.
Because today, I'll tell you a funny story.
Oh boy,
back when
were there chisels and dinosaurs back then?
Not quite that.
Okay,
old. Not quite that old. Anyway, so back when I first started mounting tires with my dad, we had bias ply tires.
Oh yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
And you could walk up to that tire and tell if it was low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's no doubt you could tell it in a New York second that it was low. So then they came up with this radial design, and that tire would kind of concave like a mushroom. Okay. Anyway, so we saw us going ski trips. 3 or 4 families get in the car and go. Anyway, my dad put a set of radials on our Buick Estate wagon, 73 white with wood panels on them, cruising down the highway. I bet we stopped 5 times because the guy behind us thought our tires were low.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. So
that's great.
So now it's gotten to the day to where, back then those were 14 or 15 inch tires. Yeah. We're all the way to 24s on these cars now today, which is crazy. But you can't walk up to a tire until it's low.
No. Unless it's excessive. If it's excessive, okay, yeah, sure. But like if you have the correct air pressure in your vehicle or in your tires, if the vehicle says it, yeah, the front tires always look low.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just the way it is.
Rex making fun of this phone number in front of my face, Gus. I agree. It's getting. I even hiked my chair up, Rex.
There you go. There, I hiked mine.
You go up a little more.
Yeah, you gotta go a little more.
Whoop.
Wrong way. There we go.
Hey, Rex, is that better? Anyway, so checking tire pressures, and it's like I had a good friend of mine. He's going to go on a long trip and stuff, and he hadn't drove his truck very much. And he said, "What do I do?" I said, "Very first thing, turn the car on. Make sure that get your tire pressure monitoring system up and make sure where your tires are at." And I said, if they're not to what the door says, not what the tire says.
It's a big thing right there.
Yes, it is. Isn't it, Scotty?
Yep.
Look at the door placard on your car for what that car was designed to run pressures and get that pressure to that. Don't look at your tire and get what the max pressure rating is. Only exception to that would be is if you are going to haul something in a truck.
Yeah.
Put extra weight on it or tow or whatever. Then I would go back and I would look at those rear tires and I would see what that tire could hold for air pressure. And I would air those tires up tighter than that.
Yeah.
To get there.
Yeah.
But then, what do you think the next thing I told him to do before he took off?
Check the fluids. But
truck's brand new. It's got like 500 miles on it.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Maybe 1,000 miles on it before he took off. Big long trip.
Oh boy.
So I told him, check tires.
Okay.
I told him, I said, go into your dash and make sure that you've got all your updates that you can do through the system.
Oh.
Before he takes off, because he's going to be driving Blue Cruise,
sure,
doing all this stuff, make sure all those modules. Now, granted, that over-the-air updates.
I was getting ready to say that's why I didn't think of it, is because all of these vehicles are so smart now. They just do over-the-air updates nightly.
Yeah, but you got to make sure you're number one hooked to Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
at your house if you have wireless internet, and then I told him just check it. I didn't talk to him before he took off and left. I need to find out if he had any updates. But again, he had his Wi-Fi set up, but he. You might have missed an update, or it might have just not been in timing yet, or maybe Ford just pushed one out or whatever. But those are little bitty updates. The bigger updates you can't do over the air. The Ford pushes out there and stuff too. So
yeah,
Rex, you're a funny dude, man. Anyway, Delbert says, answer your phone.
Uh-oh. Did we miss a call from Delbert? I just think it's kind of funny, like, especially when you're talking about over the air.
Godly, we did. I missed it.
Oh, look at you.
Sorry, Delbert. Okay, send Delbert.
There we go.
Got too many things in the works here. Scotty's got all fired up here today, so
that's what I do. I'm just here, just big old motivated service advisor. That's what I do.
Okay, we'll get Delbert on the air. After see what on Delbert's mind.
But yeah, like I what I was saying was that like now we as advisors, we can see if updates go through.
Oh yeah.
Through Oasis. We can see so much stuff now, which is so cool. And especially if we got Delbert come in, we can talk about it a little bit afterwards. But
well, you need to talk about that technology we have there on the service drive.
It's nuts, man.
It is so cool. Man, I can't believe I would love to have that in my day.
Remember back in the day, whenever we would have like a check engine light come on or some other dash light come on, and then you would make an appointment with the dealership, and you'd set up your entire day to take that vehicle into the dealership, and then it gets there and the light goes off.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how frustrating that is for everybody. The person who's driving the car, the technician who's trying to figure out what's wrong with it. All parties are affected. Well, now with the way that they have modems in these vehicles now, it's so convenient because we can see, even if the light isn't on now, we can see what it was.
Well, Scott, I can't tell you how many people will call me when they're traveling.
Yeah.
And a light will come on and I'll say, okay, and we can dial in and see what we got. Hey, let's get Delbert here.
Yeah, Delbert.
Well, finally.
I know, hey, dude. I know. What are you paying attention to my phone?
Fired up today.
Yeah.
Well, we are, aren't we?
That's what we do.
Yeah. Is it raining down there in Oklahoma City?
For another 40 minutes or so, maybe we'll be done for the day.
Yeah.
We'll start another round probably tonight with snow.
Kansas, yeah, I got baby.
So
Midwest weather.
Just love it, don't you?
Oh,
so
yes, we love it around here.
Yeah. So how's everything with Delbert? Everything good, Delbert?
Yeah, everything's great. Just two things. I know you guys are fired up on the other stuff you're already working on, but I think one of the things I could ask you to do, and you don't have to do it right now, but think about it, and then you can answer that one later, is give an example of what employee pricing is. So, to me, I would use something that you're not actually going to be able to get, like the Expedition. Use the 25 Expedition as an example of what kind of discounts you're going to get for that employee pricing.
Okay, so
can you do that one? If not, do something else, but that's one.
I'm going to give you some numbers I kind of remember in a couple of deals that
people what kind of savings they're going to get. That's the reason.
No, good point.
Okay, so let me get in here. And I'll give you.
Can't go off a percentage because every vehicle is a little different. I do understand that.
You can get it close by doing a percentage, but it's not going to get you down to the penny here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up here some stuff that I sent to our webpage provider. So here we go.
And this is like for people that aren't watching right now, but then they tune in later and say, "Oh, wow, that's what it means." So they got a great idea what it means they're going to get, and I think that's going to
okay.
So a little bit better business for some people.
Eventually, this will be on our webpage. Like I said, what happened to us was Ford didn't say on Monday we had a call that went through everything coming new for the next month and stuff. Nothing was discussed about this. All of a sudden, we came to work. Let's see, today's Saturday, Thursday, Friday. We came to work on Wednesday, and Ford announced it. No one knew anything about it. So our web page providers are way behind. Normally, they will know this in advance and have things set up. So hopefully by Monday, all these A-plan pricings will be on our website showing you exactly what that number is. But here's an example I will give you. A 24 F-150 stickered for $53,275. And the A-plan price on that truck, now if I can get back to it, I hate email on my phone. $53,275. A-plan price is $49,242.44. You got your calculator there?
Sure.
Let's add that up. $53,275. Scotty's going to get his calculator out here. You'll see what this does.
$53,275.
And then take minus $49,242.44.
Okay. Total savings of $4,032.56.
So that's pretty huge. So there's an example you can give everybody. Like I said, eventually, hopefully by Monday, our website will be up and running with showing those exact prices and stuff too. But there it is. There's your example of how much that pricing. And what I'm going to talk about here too is you've got your MSRP where that 53.2 number is. Well, here, let's go back to that for a minute. I'll just show you this so that'll tell you. Get back in here again because I can get that same number for you too. So that same truck at $53,275, you can buy it for $49,242. The X-Plan partner price, which is if you're a vendor with Ford, this is the price you can buy that truck for. So remember now, 49.2. The X plan is 51.2.
Yeah.
So it's $2,000 less than the X plan pricing that you can get as a supplier. So this is actually Ford employee pricing if you're a Ford employee.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
It's awesome. It's great though.
And then if you're a dealership employee,
I'm not going to tell everybody what I got my two Broncos for, because you guys did an awesome job getting me in both of those. But,
yeah,
that's probably a little bit better than what you got for me that on both of those. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So there's an example. Stay tuned to our website. If you see one you like and want some questions about it, just call us. It's very easy for us to look it up to make sure that's what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're here for.
So,
and the other thing,
yeah.
The second thing was just people need to understand that your dealership is a heck of a lot better than others as far as service, sales, people on the floor. I mean, they're not there to hound you for one. They're there to help you if you're ready to buy a vehicle. And sometimes if you're not, maybe they end up getting your vehicle because they talked to you long enough to basically become friends. And now you're buying a vehicle from them. Maybe not today, maybe in a week, maybe in 2 months. Who knows?
Right.
But also in the service department, I think they really need to understand this. Service departments are not the same. There's no way.
Yeah.
The Quick Lube over there, those guys check everything. They check all your fluids. They even check your brake fluid to make sure it's good. They check your antifreeze, make sure it's good. They top it off if they need to, which hopefully they don't. But there's always those possibilities. It's been 30,000 miles. You never had to put any antifreeze in. It's just, quarter inch down. Maybe they'll top it off if they need to. So, and windshield washer fluid. I know people don't think about that.
Yep, I know. It's a quality service with our works package, we call it.
Yep.
And we have a set of guys over there that just do oil changes. That's if the car, that's all it needs is the works package. They double team those cars over there. I think there's 4 groups of those guys. Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all they do. So if your car needs something extra, then of course it's going to go to a different techs and different divisions we have set up over there in the quick lane sites. It's kind of the same thing here at the main store. It's kind of crazy. We got the same amount of bays in both stores.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of how that worked out. I don't know for sure how that worked out, but so then anything, basically the quick lane will do about anything that's, 2 hours or less on repairs.
Yeah.
Anything more than that, we usually try to flip it back up here to the main store. But then the problem we run into the main store,
scheduled out a little ways. Yeah.
And I hate that, but
but you always give the best example of that. I'll never forget it. Whenever you give your service meetings and stuff like that, you don't ever want to go to a restaurant if it's not busy.
And I will tell you, the other day I pulled in one and I looked at Nick and I said, hey, let's roll on, dude.
No, there's nobody in the parking lot.
Nobody here. We're not going. So, and that is true. Do you want to go somewhere and get it done quick and fast? It's like here, this is several years ago. I still remember I was walking in to fill up our t-shirt gun canisters. And right next door to the place was one of those fast lubes. And there was 4 cars in line.
Mm-hmm.
We were in there 15 minutes. As we come out of there, those 4 cars are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now you tell me, did they really get everything checked?
No, you can't even drain the oil in that amount of time. No,
I was going to say that. Did they even get all the oil out?
No. If it's 15 minutes, there's no way.
They did 4 cars. I mean, they had to pull the plug, jam it back in, threw a filter on it, throw some oil in it, and shipped them.
Yeah.
No one looked at the brakes. No one looked at the tires. I guarantee they didn't rotate the tires.
No.
They didn't check their fluid levels.
Nope.
They didn't look things over underneath that car with that multi-point inspection we have. And it goes back to, again, if you're going to go to the doctor and get a physical, are you going to sit back and let him just check your blood pressure or just let him check your heart rate or just whatever and check your temperature and go on and out the door you go? No. So same thing for your car. These things are so expensive today. What it takes to maintain them is so much different than what they used to be.
Yeah.
I got a great saying for that now.
Yeah.
What you got?
The old saying used to be, you can pay me now or you can pay me later.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm going to change that a little bit by saying you can pay me a little now or you can pay me a lot more later.
Yeah.
You're right about
Valid.
that.
So
And double
prices go up for one, and parts go up. Who knows how the tariffs are going to affect our parts right now? I know that my daughter works for a competitor. They also have a Ford dealership, but they have Chevy, Ford, they have them all, name them. But they've already raised their prices as soon as the tariffs are put into place. Well, that's wrong, in my opinion.
I agree 100% with you,
not gotten those tariffs on the parts that they have in stock currently.
Yep.
I can see if the part comes in, so now I got to raise the price to compensate for that. But no, that company's already raising their prices. And I can't verify this from you guys, but I would assume you haven't done that yet until the tariffs actually hit you.
No, I would definitely notice it, and no.
Yeah.
No, this dealership's different. I've been here. I'm coming up on 13 years, Mr. Phil Nightingale.
Good for you, buddy.
Do I get a bonus?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. But no, I've been coming up on 13 years.
I remember when they were back up there by K96.
Yeah. But
it's not there no more. None of it.
None of it.
We've got a highway going right through it right now.
The every single time that we get into like any kind of a service conversation, the number one priority is always the customer. Yep. It's not the profit. It's not anything. It's like, what can we do to help this person? And it's always been that way since I've worked for Mr. Nightingale. It's always been that way. Doesn't matter.
If you start looking in your pocket before you take care of your customers, you're going to lose every time.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you have one big sale. Congratulations, good job, way to go. But if you make that customer a lifetime customer, so much better
as well. They've got Phil doing multiple jobs. He's the sales manager. He's let's see, what other hats do you wear, Phil?
Phil's a freaking unicorn.
TV
He's a freaking unicorn.
They pay you a lot more for being promoted on TV, don't they, Phil?
Yeah.
The guy I'm talking about that they actually paid to come out there, you remember, right?
Oh, sure do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
sure
can't
do.
remember his name now, but it's like, he was a staple. It was Ford if he came on, but now you got Phil, it's Ford. Mel Hambelton Ford, because that's who they are.
Yeah.
Well,
they're a people company.
The thing when I started doing the TV commercials and stuff, and Lisa and I talked about it, it's I want to be honest, sincere, and everything else too. But there's not a day doesn't go by that someone doesn't see me on the showroom floor and say, "Hey, you're the guy on TV." Well, yeah, it's real. I'm not a guy we hired to come in and shoot some spots, or somebody that comes in and flies in, does the spots, and leaves. And
that came much later after you were hired, didn't it? How many years after you were hired did it come?
2.
Yeah, 2 or 3, something like that. I think is when I started doing that. And we had a gentleman doing it in the workforce, and he left, and I just looked at Lisa. I said, "Let me do it. I want to do it. I want to be the one that talks to our customers, tells them where we're at." And
he didn't even think about how the TV had 10 pounds or more.
No, I don't know how many cameras were on him, but it may have been 4 or 5.
So, but anyway, it's fun to talk to customers that do see me on TV and that sort of stuff, and to be real. I mean, that's what this is about. I mean, our industry has too many black eyes on it. Doesn't need to be there, and just any way we can prevent a black eye or prevent that negativity, that sort of thing from that part. And it's like yesterday. I had a gentleman. He's wanting to buy a Raptor R. And I require a down payment on those trucks that are called a non-refundable deposit. They're very rare to get. Dealers are charging over sticker for it, which I think is asinine.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to do it. And I said, that's fine. It doesn't bother me a bit that you do or you don't want to do it. I'll have somebody here in line to buy one of these trucks, and I'm not going to take it off the market because you think you want one.
Yeah.
If you want one, you need to show some commitments. You want to buy the truck, and then I'll put an order in for you and get you one. But I'm getting one of those Raptor R's about every other month, one every other month.
They're sick.
They are. We got one sitting here right now. Yeah. So, but that's why I told him. Next thing I said, I don't charge over stickers. So I said, I'm going in. I said, go ahead. It's okay. I hate to lose your business over you not wanting to put a deposit down and show that you have a vested interest in locking in the truck. But I might have somebody else that really is interested in trucking.
Now, do you have an amount of the deposit you're asking for?
Yeah, I do. Just, the truck's $115,000, and I asked for $10,000 down. I mean, I'm not asking for 20% down. I'm just asking for 10% down, basically a little less than 10%.
A little less, yeah.
To hold that truck and hold that spot. I mean, if somebody else walks in and does want it, I want to be able to sort of provide that customer with the level of service they need and give them the truck.
Yeah.
From that part. So
makes sense.
But anyway. Delbert,
That's amazing. $100,000 for that truck. Woo.
115. Yeah, but it's a beast too. You
Oh,
know?
I'm sorry,
Delbert,
115. My
but
bad.
Delbert, it's awesome. It's so sick.
I'm gonna have to come see one of these days.
Oh, for sure.
Well, we have one here right now.
It's not for my financial blood.
No, I get it. I get that too.
I do really like how they changed the Rangers, though. They really changed them to be more usable than the old Rangers. I mean, they're bigger, they're heavier, they're you know, the engines they put in can tow some things, and you know, the suspension can handle it, and so on and so forth. But
yep, very true. Well, anyway, Delbert,
that'll be my next purchase is the Ranger.
There you go.
Yep, they're nice.
There you go. So,
all right.
Are you working today, Delbert? What do you got going on?
My call. We'll talk to you next time.
Oh yeah.
And don't forget, everything changes 23. Check me out.
Everything. Yeah, it's okay. Everybody, Delbert, give you a little plug for your YouTube channel. It's everything. So I'm going to mess it up.
Thank you so much.
Everything 23
changes 23.
Everything changes 23.
Everything changes 23.
All right.
Got to get it all in there.
You got it.
Change that to everything 23 if I can, but it's probably taken.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Delbert. You take care, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
See you, buddy.
I think we had another one. I'm pretty sure.
Not yet.
Oh, maybe not.
Anyway. All right, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. It's anything you want to talk about in the automobile world. You can talk about this employee pricing. Love to hear from you. 316-462-3673. That number comes right to the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get past the podcast. We'll take your call, hopefully soon. Not wait too long to take it from that part too. So anyway, I'll put 20% down and Phil can make half of the payments for me. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Jason, I'd love to do that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I get it. But so Leonard wants to know about interest rates on the new F-150s. Right now, Leonard, everything is put towards that A-plan pricing. Money is where it's at right now. Ford doesn't have any incentivized rates just because that great low price that they're throwing out there for giving all the A-plan pricing money out there for everybody. So anyway, Scotty, anything that you can talk to our listeners today or watchers today that you saw this week in the shop that could have prevented somebody something or a unique situation or something that
which one do you want?
Either. I get it. I know.
I mean, I think that my feelers were mainly out there this week for tires. That was the biggest thing. Just simple alignment, simple rotating, like for premature wear on tires. I mean, I had an all-wheel drive vehicle that had never been serviced with us before, and they come in and the back tires have like 8 30-seconds of tread, and the front tires have like 3 30-seconds of tread.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's an all-wheel drive vehicle.
Okay, so let's explain to our watchers and our listeners what's happening there. You've got an all-wheel drive, so that means all 4 wheels are getting power put to them.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's several different all-wheel drive systems out there, how they run them, whether it's a front-wheel drive and they throw a transfer case to the back, or it's a rear-wheel drive and they put a transfer case to the front.
Yep.
And then what kind of things inside that transfer case power that thing. Now there's electronically controlled, that sort of thing too. But you got to think about it as an all-wheel drive. If power's going all 4 wheels, the circumference of all those tires need to be the same. If they're not, you're putting bind somewhere. What I mean is you're trying to somewhere it's got to slip the tire, it's got to slip a drive shaft, it's got to slip a chain, it's got to slip something. I mean, from 8 30-seconds, 3 30-seconds, you don't think that's much,
that's
but
a lot.
boy, it's a lot.
That's a lot. You want to know why it came in?
What did it come in for?
Transmission fluid leak.
Ooh.
I wonder what caused that.
Yeah, I wonder what caused it. We got something bound up in there too.
Yep.
I will still remember this happened a long time ago, but this was a all-wheel drive Jeep. Can't remember exactly, the Cherokee or whatever it was. And the customer had been taking it to the Jeep dealer and kept putting transmissions in it, kept putting transfer cases in it, and couldn't figure it out. And they got threw their hands up and said, "We can't help it. We don't know why it's doing what it's doing." They brought it to me. I walked right up to it. I knew exactly what was wrong. Had 2 different size tires on it, from the front to the rear. And you just can't, on an all-wheel drive, they've got to be all the same diameter so that everything will roll freely and everything else. When they get to be that much difference, you're binding something, and it's really tearing the heck out of something and cost you lots of dollars. So let's go into tires for a minute. And we've talked about this on many shows. These tires today, You have to look at your door placard, and you have to look at what it says, not just the size wise. There's a speed rating and there's a load rating that car was designed to be with. Now, years ago, we had one tire, G60, 6015. It didn't matter with that would fit, that would go.
75 R14.
Yeah. So you'd put that tire on, away you go. Now, today, you can have that same size tire on probably 4 or 5 different type of applications, different speed rating, different load rating, different traction from that part. And it drives me crazy when I'll see vehicles roll in that's got the right size tire on it, but the totally wrong application. And the reason that is they probably went to a tire store that offers, 2 or 3 models of tires.
Yeah.
And that's all they had to offer them. And so that's what they sold them. But here at Mel Hambelton Ford, we have 17 different models of tires. So we can find the right tire. So if you're a Michelin fan, or you're a Goodyear fan, you're a Toyo fan, you're a Nitto fan, it doesn't matter. You're a Uniroyal fan. We can fix you and get you a tire that will fit your needs. But again, we're going to fit you up with a tire, and Scotty can sit down with you and give you the good, better, best. But it's going to get you right speed rating and the right load rating. I still, kind of a funny story was when these speed rated tires came out, we had these Z rated tires and stuff. And I remember a customer saying, that's 100, I don't remember what it exactly is, 130 mile an hour tire. And they said, we're never going to go 130. So don't worry about this. Just put your regular tire on, because that Z rated tire back then was a really expensive tire compared to a regular stock tire. I'm not going that fast. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I never did do that because I knew that was the wrong thing to do, because the car's not just because it can go that fast. It's also under braking.
Yeah, it's also braking and turning,
traction, everything. So anyway, long story short there was a dealership or a place put on a non-Z rated tire on a grandma's car.
Mm-hmm.
Grandson came home, took the car out, went flying. Tire couldn't take it, crashed the car. Guess who's liable?
Yeah.
So
I got a story myself. I mean, I can't believe it, but I'm coming up on 20 years of being in the automotive industry. Can you believe that? I've been 13 here, but in the automotive industry, been almost 20. But anyways, the first place I got was a tire store. Okay. And we sold tires on a regular basis, and we had a customer come in. I want to say it was an older Fusion, but the speed rating that the tire was supposed to be was an H, and they put on a T. And this particular individual
let's
went
explain.
out.
Tell a customer difference between H and a T.
Your speed ratings normally, especially for passenger car tires, start at T and go all the way to ZR. It goes T, H, V, and then ZR, and that's going to be like your W's, your Z's, all of that stuff is going to be at the very end. But that is the stiffness of the sidewall. That's basically what it comes down to. And so that's whenever you have like a more sportier car or whatever the case may be, the sidewall has to be stiffer because of the steering capabilities, braking, all of that stuff come into play. Well, this particular vehicle was rated for H. So you have T and then H. A different tire store put on T-rated tires, and this vehicle was, I don't know what it was doing, but it legitimately turned left and popped the tire off of the right front wheel. Yeah. It completely came dismounted.
Yeah, it couldn't handle
because
the stress.
It couldn't handle the stress.
Yeah, as you went in the corner.
That's right. And so whenever you have these very, very experienced like advisors, technicians, all of that stuff that we have here, we've seen some stuff. We've been around it long enough that we know what we're doing. And we're here to help.
Yeah. So just make sure when you're going to buy tires,
that
you're looking at that, make sure you're getting the right load rating, tire rating, and then Scotty can sit down with you too and give you good, better, best tires and give you some options.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about our tire. Now, next thing is, Scotty, we price match guarantee.
Yep.
And again, if you buy a set of tires from us and you find it a price even 30 days after, we can get you reimbursed if you can beat that. Scotty, how many times do you have to use the price match guarantee?
I think I've done it once in 13 years.
There you go. So that's how competitive we are on tires. We sell a lot of tires. We are, not to brag a little bit, but we sell more tires than any Ford dealer in the United States. Chalk that up.
Have that one.
Yeah. So, and then I will tell you that we had the last week or 2 weeks ago, we had the buy the fourth for $1.
Yeah. And that one just popped up too.
Just popped up real fast. I was in the middle of that. Scotty, I'm on a chairman for what we call the Quick Lane FDAF, which is Ford Advertising Fund. I'm the chairman of that board. And they called me, said at the last minute and said, here's what we're thinking about doing. I said, let's go. So I knew it was coming, but I couldn't let it out of the bag being the chairman and stuff too. But we were number 3 in the country for selling the most tires during that little bit of a time frame. from that part. So we do sell a lot of tires, so we got a lot of inventory for you to show. But the next thing is, as we're turning that inventory like we're turning it, guess what you're getting? A fresh tire.
That's right.
Remember, even though the tire's got a lot of tread wear in it, 5 years, it's done. There's a date code on that tire, and after it's 5 years old. So if you go in somewhere and you buy a tire that's 2 years old already, guess what? You just done.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 years left out of it, no matter how much you burn on that tire or whatever either. From that part. So we'll have fresh inventory for you on those date codes and stuff as much as we're turning and burning. And anytime you want to go check out our warehouse, look at our tire inventory, it'd be kind of cool to go do it.
You can play baseball in that place.
Sure could.
You could. But yeah, that's a very big point that you made. The date on the tire. A lot of people don't even know where that is, what that means, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, date code on the tire is very, very important. There's been times that I've had somebody just bought a brand new set of tires. You look on the side of the tire and it says, 28 of 18.
Yeah.
You just put a tire on your vehicle that's 7 years old.
Yeah. So what that is, we call it a Julian date, and it's stamped to the tire. And it's going to give you the first 2 digits are going to be the week of the year that was made. So that 28 means the 28th week of, and the 18 means the 2018. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
So sometimes that date code's on the inside of your tire, sometimes on the out, sometimes on both sides. You just got to kind of look at the tire. It's very small. It's about, I don't know, quarter inch.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I think the whole date code may be an inch wide or mid long or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Tires are crazy now. You have asymmetrical tires. You have directional tires. You have radials. You have so much stuff. Believe it or not, we know a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Next thing is to mount the tires.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We have the best tire machines in the country to mount your tires from Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And basically these machines do a lot of stress off the tech that's actually mounting the tire. But this machine will not scuff your tire, do anything else like that. You set it up and it actually does it itself. And it's very cool if you wanted to watch that. Sometime we might have to go have a demonstration that show that tire
for sure,
how that's mounted and what it does. It's like the other day we had a body shop bring in a set of carbon fiber wheels that had got
yeah, I heard about it.
And they couldn't find anybody in this town that would touch them because they didn't have the right machine. Guess what? We had the right machine to do that, to dismount that carbon fiber wheel. That carbon fiber wheel is only about a $7,000 wheel.
Oh yeah,
from that part too. So,
but the basically the I guess the mounting machine, the clamps and the things that actually touch the wheel are made out of hard plastic.
Yeah,
so they're not going to do anything to the wheel.
Yeah, it's a cool machine, very expensive, but we do have I believe we have 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
2 in each
dealership, or 2 in each.
Yeah, 2 in Quick Lane and 2 here in the main store.
Yep.
But again, we have to do that because it's better to take care. The other thing it's doing too is, can you damage a tire mounting it?
Yeah,
exactly. This machine will not let you damage a bead or whatever. And maybe a tech doesn't know he tore the bead a little bit.
Yeah.
All that's going to do is make a time for the thing to be out of balance, be out of round, leak, whatever it might be. This machine will work that tire to where it doesn't do that at all. Hey, you got a question over from Jason Cox. Can you add EFP at any time purchase of the vehicle, or does it have to be purchased at the time when you finance the vehicle? I'm not sure what he's calling EFP.
Yeah, Jason, what do you mean by EFP?
EFP, extended.
I was going to say extended service plan, but that's not it.
Well, that might be what he's thinking. I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about. Is it extended coverage or whatever? Let's say it is extended coverage. Can you buy it at the time of the purchase? Yes, you can. Can you finance it in the contract? Yes, you can. And I highly recommend it because I tell you, everybody that I sell a car to, I tell you one thing I promise you about that vehicle.
It's going to break.
It's going to break. Don't know when, don't know what's going to happen, but it will break. Buying an extended warranty will cover yourself, and you can put it into your payment and make it very easy for you. You don't have to worry about it. I'm a big fan of putting maintenance in your contract too, where you can pull in, here, Scotty. Scotty will take care of it. Scotty can hand your keys back and off you go. You're buying maintenance on today's prices versus buying on price inflation. Is how inflation goes up 2 or 3 years down the road from that part. So Jason, if it is an extended warranty, you can buy it anytime after you purchase it. What I do highly suggest, if you buy a new car and you don't buy it at the time of purchase, please buy it before you run out of your factory warranty.
Yes.
And here's why I'll tell you, because if you do that, you can still buy what we call a new car plan, which is a cheaper price plan because it's already got some coverage built into it. If you go over your 336, then I've got to sell you a used car plan, and it's just like, it's an insurance plan.
Yep. So
the odds of your car breaking or on that standpoint is higher. So that cost of that plan then is you're buying on a used car plan, which is higher priced than a new car plan. So just be careful with that.
They pay for themselves. I can't say it enough. There have been so many times I've been in my office with a customer who had the opportunity to buy an extended service contract, and they're out of powertrain or whatever it was, and it ended up needing something, probably because of lack of maintenance, but beside the point. And if they would have had the most basic extended warranty, it would have saved them thousands of dollars.
Yeah, so
it pays for itself so many times.
I had a situation here a while back. Customer had a vehicle about 6 months and had a problem with it, and they thought we should be liable for it. And it was a used car, and so I said, okay. So I went back to my finance department. I was hoping I was going to see what I would see, but they were offered an extended warranty and extended coverage, and they declined it, and they signed off and they declined it. Okay, hey, I'm sorry.
We don't have a crystal ball. We cannot see into the future whenever these vehicles, eventually, you're right, they're going to break. And I have seen way too many times to where these extended coverages or extended warranty plans or whatever pay for themselves in spades.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 3 times what you have into them, they will pay for themselves.
And here's what I'll tell you too. There's good extended warranties and there's bad ones out there
Correct.
too. On coverages. And I've seen them all, just like Scotty's seen them all.
There's
a warranty coverage out there that figure every way not to pay a claim instead of finding every way to pay a claim and take care of you for the amount of money you've paid and everything else too. And Josh and I have went through so many scenarios back here that we've run into, and this one warranty company was only paying a percentage because of the miles they'd driven, and hold it, just stop. What did I buy that coverage for if you're not going to help me when I got a breakdown? That's what it's supposed to be there for. So you got to be careful. I get customers calling me all the time. I just got in this mail. My warranty's running out. I need to buy a warranty. Throw that in the trash.
No.
Throw it in the trash. That's some aftermarket company that's kind of come after you to sell you something that you don't. They can sell you something, but it's not going to be a good coverage for your car from that standpoint. So be careful where you buy one, what you look at. Love to sit down with you. One we sell here at Mel Hambelton Ford. It's our program. Lisa and I built this program together for us to make sure how it gets coverage and stuff, and not be one of those situations that how do we not pay a claim?
Yeah, and I'm the guy you want in your corner whenever I'm talking to the warranty companies, because I want as much as I possibly can to get whatever your vehicle needs covered by that, because everybody's happy at that point. And but yeah, I'm the guy that calls and argues with warranties on a regular basis. That's kind of my job. So but yeah, I'm the guy you want in your corner for that.
Okay, we got Jeremy coming up. Let's get Jeremy on the phone and see what's on Jeremy's mind. So anyway, Jason, I hope that answers your question. And if that's what you were talking about as an EFP, I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but hopefully that is what you were talking about from that part. We'll get Jeremy on the phone here, see what's up on Jeremy. And here comes Jeremy. Morning, Jeremy. You're live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I have a question. My buddy and I go back and forth on this, and we think I think that I need to ask you guys because we're not quite sure. So when it comes to 4-wheel drive, are you able to drive it on wet paint? I mean, we know about snow and stuff, but when it comes, so like today, like if it's raining, is it all right to use 4-wheel drive?
Okay, here's how I'm gonna tell you. On a rainy day like today, the only way you'd be able to put a vehicle in 4-wheel drive and not hurt it on a rainy surface is if it has a 4A or 4 auto mode. Okay, if you have a standard just 4-wheel drive and a wet surface, the answer is no. It can't slip enough, even though it's on a wet surface, to get that to keep that diameter of everything moving the same speed. Okay, but if you have a 4 auto mode, which a lot of vehicles do, what that is then is the computer watches the wheel speed of all the tires, okay, running down the road. And then as it sees slippage, meaning because it can see the mile an hour changes off the wheel speed sensors and stuff, then it will take and apply the power where it needs to go to get your traction back. But if you just have a 4 high button and you want to put it on today in these rainy, wet surfaces, that's not a good idea. Okay.
Okay, so sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my analysis for you is a standard 4-wheel drive 4 high on a wet surface. Don't do it. But if you've got 4 auto, you can.
So is 4 auto the same as 4 low?
No.
Okay.
No.
That you put 4 low, you had better be stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, stuck. You're going less than 3 mile an hour if you put it in 4 low.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So 4 low should be like, yeah, if that's like a deep snow or something. So then my other question is, um, at some point down the road, I know it's cool you guys are talking about this uh, employee pricing today.
Mhm.
This is awesome. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
But what is the difference between 4-wheel drive and all-wheel drive? I don't. Are those not quite the same?
No,
they're not. They're close.
They're close, yeah.
But they're really not. Basically, if you get an all-wheel drive car, in the transfer case, they have a clutch in there that helps get rid of that bind when you turn corners and do that sort of thing too.
Or when one wheel is moving faster than the other because of the turning and all of that other stuff.
So that's where the all-wheel drive has that clutch in the transfer case. Now, if you just have a 4-wheel drive like 4H, the button you push or the lever you pull to put it 4 high, there's no clutch in that transfer case to take care of that binding or that will bind when you turn a corner to when you're going to turn left. The right wheel is going to spin faster than the left. And that's where you got to have slippage so that thing can do what it's, not tear something up. But if you've got it,
I'll make it easy for you.
Yeah.
If you want to know the difference, go out and shift your truck into 4-wheel drive and turn the steering wheel as tight as you can in either direction and tell me how smooth it is.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because it'll sit there and jerk and buck because
you can't. It's
binding it. Yeah, it's binding it up.
Yeah. So when you're on snow, if you do that and you turn, the snow is going to slip on the snow and not have that bind. But on a asphalt surface or concrete surface, it can't. Something's got to give.
Yep.
Whether the tire slips or whether the drive line slips or breaks a transfer case part or something, because it just binds up too tight.
Okay, so what about like during the springtime here when we get lots of rain? Is all-wheel drive better to have like than a 4-wheel drive vehicle?
Totally.
Like when we get lots of rain and stuff in the spring?
Yeah, because basically an all-wheel drive system can run down the road all the time and put power to all 4 wheels. So yes, an all-wheel drive. That's why they came up with these trucks to put the 4 auto mode in there. Because that flips over to that same kind of a deal where it's got a clutch inside that transfer case, so you can run 4 high, not run 4 high when you need to. You can put it in the 4 auto mode, and then it'll kick that power where it needs to.
Yeah,
by the slippage.
Okay, so then I have another question then with the all-wheel drive versus like front-wheel drive. Do they get worse gas mileage, or are they relatively the same?
Depends on application.
Yeah, it depends. I would say majority of the time the all-wheel drives probably have lower gas mileage, but with the technology that's coming out and depending on the application, it may not be true. With all the advancements and stuff like that they've got coming out.
But usually, like you say, you take a car that's probably 5 or 6 years old and take a front-wheel drive versus an all-wheel drive. Yeah, it's going to get less gas mileage, 1 or 2 miles to the gallon, probably, because it's got to be moving all those parts down the road you wouldn't normally have when you had on a front-wheel drive car.
Yeah,
and I'm going to tell you today, with the weather we have around here today, front-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive, I will take front-wheel drive over all-wheel drive just because all the extra wearing parts and different things that go on with that situation. Because then I can rotate my tires like I need to. Don't worry about that stuff.
You can buy 2 at a time.
If we've got that bad of weather that you need all-wheel drive in a sedan or a small SUV, probably not time to get on the road.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will tell you these. Those new Ford Escapes. I think they're very sharp looking. I don't know. I seem like I'm seeing a lot more of these new Ford Escapes. These redesigned ones. I think they're very sharp looking, and I've noticed that. I would assume you guys have quite a few of those out there. So on those Ford Escapes,
got a bunch.
For this employee. Okay, so for this employee pricing, you guys have quite a few of these 2024 Ford Escapes.
Sure do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we have a great selection of the Escapes.
Okay, yeah, because I've noticed. Gosh, I don't know what kind of color you call it, but it looks kind of like I guess it'd be like a slate blue grayish kind of color. I've noticed I've seen quite a few of those on the road, and it's really started to catch my eye. And I'm assuming, are those front wheel drives or are those all wheel drives?
Both. They come in both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have different different trim levels and stuff like that, but they come in both. But I mean, I know I'm not on the sales side, but I'm going to give you some prep advice. If you're ever in the market, look online. Go to mhford.com, look at the new and used inventory. It's and it'll give you kind of an idea. The pricing, like Phil said earlier, is not updated yet for the employee pricing and things like that. But if you have an idea of what you want, you're just basically prepping yourself. Come in, and they even have a stock number down there as well. Get that stock number, or take a picture of it on your phone. Come in, man, that makes it easy for everybody.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks
You bet, man.
Well, I only had the one question, but then all these other questions.
Hey, man, that's what we're here for.
That's all right, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the call, buddy.
You bet.
Yes.
Thanks, Jeremy.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Have a good day.
See you. Scotty, time flies. You're having fun.
I love doing this show with
It is
you.
kind of fun. Isn't it? It is a blast, Scotty. Thanks for hanging out
You
with
bet,
Scotty, and Josh is off hanging out at a wedding today, so good for him and stuff too. Him and his wife having fun. I think he's in Oklahoma somewhere.
Yeah, he's in
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I think it's where he's at. I can't remember. He told me, I can't remember where either from that part too. So anyway, time's running out. Scotty, thanks for hanging out with me. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And remember, don't miss out on this employee pricing. It says it's going to go through June 2nd. I hope Ford gets that out there, but I don't want someone to miss out in case Ford pulls the plug early, because I've seen them do it before. So don't miss out. We have the largest inventory in the state of Kansas to come check us out. And, Scotty, just the other day, I got my dealer trade guy coming to me, and he's got all these dealers in our calling what in our inventory. Nice try. Nice try. Yeah, we're going to leave this inventory here and take care of us from that part too. So everybody, don't miss out on employee pricing. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in Wednesday at 6 o'clock for Salt City Update, Salt City Racing. Nick and I've got a lot of updates to prep you for coming up on our first race coming up April 25th. So you don't want to miss out that at the fairgrounds. Scotty, have a great weekend. Everybody, stay dry, stay safe, and we'll talk to you next Saturday morning at 9 o'clock.